Well, welcome to my channel. Let me just say this first off the bat. If you decide that you want to support my channel, the first thing you can do is subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. Hit the little bell so you get notified of when I put new videos up. Hit the like button if you like my videos, and share. The other way, if you want to, is you can buy me a coffee. It's where you can donate a little bit of money if you so decide to do so. Hopefully you can see okay in here. I'm in my enclosed car trailer that I've converted into a shop. I've never really used this back part for much, so I need to put another light up here. But anyway, something I've always wanted, finally went ahead and got was I got me a what they call a MIDI lathe. It's a Nova Comet II DR. DR stands for digital readout. In all my research, it finally came down to two lathes in this size range that I looked at. You know, and I started off, I looked at the Harbor Freight one, which was a 10-inch. Had a little bit more, I think 2 more inches distance between centers than this one does, but it was only 10 inches. This is a 12, and it was only like $259, but it was all belts changing speeds on that. And yes, I could later convert it to a DC motor with variable speed, but I didn't want to do that. I wanted to be able to just go ahead and have it and you know, get it done. So this one had that. So like I said, I narrowed it down to 2 in this size range. It was the Nova Comet II DR and the PSI, or Penn State Industries, I think it's called Turn Crafter, which is fairly similar to this. After looking back and forth between them, I ended up deciding on the Nova. One of the reasons is the Nova apparently has been building lathes and other machines for a long time. So I was assured of that this was not some upstart in the last 5-6 year company that was doing it. So that was one thing. And I'm not saying that that's the issue with the PSI's Turn Crafter lathe. I don't really know. But anyway, I didn't know that this one, the company had been around for quite a while. The other thing too was the Turn Crafter from PSI, although it was a DC motor, variable speed, it did not have a forward and reverse on it. Now that is something that I could very easily add to it if I wanted to, but it didn't have it on there. The other thing that was different is right up here on the top of the Turn Crafter was the spindle lock. And I had watched one YouTube video where the guy had pointed out that the spindle lock up here was not designed to lock the spindle for it to be held for you to remove a chuck or a faceplate, because he had done that and actually stripped the little plastic indents off of the plate inside and ended up having to tear the whole head apart to replace that. I don't know if that's the case on this one, but I did see a video where someone had used the spindle lock to be able to remove the faceplate. So that's the point, and whether they did or not. But that was one thing I was a little concerned with on the Turn Crafter. Really, the only things that I didn't like about this one, but it wasn't a deal breaker, is this one has the spindle lock on the back. It's over here. I'll try to take a picture of that and show you where it's at. It's over here on the back, so you can't see it, and so you either have to manually verify that you didn't have it in spindle lock mode, or look around there for it. Now, it pulls out and turns, and then it locks. And you pull it out and turn 180 degrees, and it freewheels again. When it locks, the button goes all the way in. When it's unlocked, the button's out a little bit. So there again, with my history and background in electrical, electronics, and machine controls, I can very easily build an interlock that will be non-intrusive. And what I mean by non-intrusive, it means I don't need to go down into all this stuff and tear into the control panel, all of this stuff to be able to do it. I can actually put an interlock back here that if this is in spindle lock mode, it will keep power from even coming to the machine. And this is a magnetic start button. Hopefully you can see that in the video. So once it loses power, it doesn't make a difference. If it's locked out, it won't allow you to start. So I can actually do that. So if anybody's interested down the road that happens to have a Nova, whether it's the one with the digital readout or not, and has a spindle lock back here, if anybody's interested in how I build an interlock for this down the road, let me know. Now, in the box, this came out just like you see it right here. It's got the wheels. I mean, not the wheels, but the feet. I haven't put those on yet. So it's got the 4 feet right here. It's got the spindle wrench, which is another way where you can reach back in here and get the faceplate off, I guess. It goes into here. Yeah, like that. And then it goes, you can actually pop the faceplate loose. This looks to be the lock handle for the top of the this center rest back here. Well, I'll get that in a little bit. So that's the lock top that goes up there. Then you have a four spur center, drive center that would go in there. Normally you would take the faceplate off if you wanted to, so if you get behind it. It comes with the knob, crank handle for the tail rest, and it comes with, I think they call this a cup center, I don't really know, and that would go in here. It also comes with the tool. This is a knockout tool that is used to knock these out once they get stuck in. Now that's all I've bought so far, and I was actually planning on buying this next year. Oh, wait a minute, one other thing too. This, if I can get it out of here. Now this is actually the piece that screws on back here, or goes on back here. On the end of the tail, and it's left-hand thread if I'm not mistaken, and that screws on there. Now they do have splines on the end of this. If you take this off, and Nova does have accessories that can go back there. The other thing that was different between this one, the Nova, and the Turncrafter was in here. Even though you variable speed over there, you have different settings on the belt. The Nova, and I know you can't see this in this video, the Nova has 3 belt settings. It has a high speed, a medium speed, and a low speed. So you have a range of speeds in between each one of these belt settings that you can control from over here. The Turnmaster only has 2. And I also thought this one was a little bit easier to get into than the Turnmaster, from what I could see in videos that I watched and stuff. Initially, I wanted to get a lathe to make little wooden wheels for, I was wanting to make some wood cars and trucks and stuff, and I wanted to make my own wooden wheels. And you know, I've dealt with metal lathes in the past, but never really so much a wood lathe. So I decided I wanted to do that, and then really got to looking at a bunch of other things and all the stuff that you can do with a wood lathe. And there's a lot of little projects now. I am totally not interested in bowl turning. I know there's a lot of people out there that, oh, that's the first thing you're going to jump in and do bowls and do bowls and do bowls. No, I'm more interested in all the other little stuff that you can make, which would be what I would call spindle turning. So that's where I'm interested in. Now, the one thing I haven't, I've got to go look, I haven't found the tool resting yet, and I've got to look at that and see if I'm short that. And see if it's in a box somewhere or in some styrofoam. Okay, now I did find the tool rest. The one thing I don't like about it, looking at it, this is all powder coated. So this is bumpy right here. And so I'm going to sand all that off, make that real smooth, because when you're running your tools down it, you don't want them to jump on that bounce, on them little bubbles in that powder coating. So I will be sanding all of this off, making this smooth steel up there. It only came with this one. Later I'll buy a larger one. The other thing that I would like to mention too is the price was right. I bought this through Home Depot online. The only thing I don't like about buying online from Home Depot is if you have a military discount, you can't use it online. So I'm going to see if I go back in the store and say, hey, I bought this, can I get my military discount? If not, it is what it is. But the price was the best price for this lathe. It was $484. brand new. So the price point was a good one, and even though I was thinking of buying this next year, with the way things are shortages, with inflation the way it's going, I've heard rumors from different areas in the wood turning community that lathe manufacturers are talking about increased prices. So, I just said, well, I'll go ahead and get the lathe. So I've got the lathe now. I don't have any of the tools yet. I don't have any of the other accessories I want to get, like I want to get a chuck system for it. So, now, like I said, I haven't really turned anything. I know there's some various opinions on some stuff. So, I'm going to ask any of y'all that are looking into lathes, or you used lathes in the past, your thoughts on this. Conventional chisels, turning things, gouges, all that kind of stuff that you have to sharpen, made out of high-speed steel, or carbide. I initially looked at carbide because at least I wouldn't have to sharpen those right now and go through all of that stuff, but I really can't find a carbide parting tool. So if anybody knows if there's one of those, but other than that, I could go either way. It's just whether or not I would have to do the sharpening. So, if you got an opinion one way or another, leave it below. Anyway, so I'm going to go through this with my lathe. It's actually going to face the other direction in here. I've got a lot of other stuff in here. I've got a 3D printer in here, drill press in here. I've got a laser engraver up front, computer desk and everything up front with all of that. This lathe is actually going to turn around. I'm going to put lights here in the back of the trailer, and there will be a curtain wall that'll go across here that'll block off the lathe from the rest of this. I don't want to put this out in my barn because the dirt daubers will take it over. They will build their little dirt nest in every crevice in the thing, and so I don't want to do that. But anyway, follow me along. I'm going to be making videos on this. Right now I'm finishing up remodeling our kitchen, and I've still got to get some other stuff, at least get a set of turning tools before I can even try it out. So follow me along if you want to. Give me some comments, and let's help me go through this adventure of everything that I'm going to do in here. I'm looking at making some snowmen, yo-yos, the old spin tops, the kind with the string, not the ones you flip, 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 but those type of things. Just all kinds of stuff that I'm thinking of doing with this. One day, yeah, I may work on a bowl, but I'm not really that interested in bowls. I'm just not. I know there's a lot of craftsmanship that goes into bowls. I understand that, and but it just doesn't interest me. So anyway, I want to go ahead and thank you for watching. Go ahead, like I said, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Follow along with me on this adventure. I'm going to put this video in a playlist. It's going to be all about the lathe stuff that I'm doing from this point on. And I've got other videos that we'll be doing with more in my gardening, more in the tractor stuff, just all kinds of stuff that will be going on out here at the farm. So anyway, thanks for watching. Until the next time.